Greetings, Minecrafters. Oh, there's a little G. Hi, honey. And welcome to another exciting discussion, another Minecraft discussion on all things well-being. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm thrilled to have this chat with you from my living room because it's just like really wet outside. And actually, I don't mind it usually, but today we're just kind of enjoying the snuggliness of the inside. So anyway, remembering that Minecraft is about becoming the boss of your brain because thoughts come first and feelings second, actions or behavior third, and that's how it goes. And also about thoughts, eventually, little baby thoughts growing up and becoming beliefs, because beliefs are what's in the hard drive, what's in the vault of the unconscious, and they are what are responsible for 95 to 96% of everything we say and do every day. Okay, so today we're going to talk about stop rewinding and push play, okay? The here and now that is our lives. And so people don't realize, when they hear, people talking about let it go and all this stuff that, oh, that sounds so cheesy, oh no, they don't understand. Of course you understand. People don't realize that how much damage is done when we're on autopilot, just buzzing around, not being active players in our own lives. And so I also want to talk about the letting go thing. Like, oh, you don't understand. Oh, it's not, I can't do this, it's not so easy. So this is where we separate simple versus easy. I do this with my Minecraft students a lot. Simple is letting go. That's simple. Yeah, you choose it. It's not like you wait for the, letting go or forgiveness fairies to like descend from, the clouds and wave a wand, and then you'll be waiting a long time because it doesn't work like that. Oh, but I have to be ready. Same thing, forgiveness fairies just descending upon you and waving a wand. Now, is there a little room for that? If God forbid somebody was, assaulted yesterday, they might not be ready to forgive that night or this morning. Though in general, at a certain point, you got to just choose it, because when we reside in the mental laziness of autopilot, it just isn't going to happen. It's just how it is. It's a choice versus easy. We have to choose it. So often, because of the autopilot thing, which is dangerous, we will revisit, we hit rewind, just like an old school tape recorder. Just rewind, and I used to make that sound, and it would go click when it's like stop at the beginning, which would be like when you're born, right? And then we play it over again, and then it's like a loop, and we play it over and over again. Remembering too that each and every time we revisit any memory, it is changed. And that's the cognitive psychology part of me, right? Is the memory thing. Whenever we revisit a memory, pull it off the shelf of long-term memory, it is changed forever. It's altered from that original memory. It's just how it is. So we're not even remembering things exactly how they are. The other thing is they get stronger and stronger and stronger, right? There's no such thing as a memory, actually. Like we think of Disney's movie Inside Out, which actually I thought did a good job of explaining that. We can't just, reach into someone's skull with kindness and anesthesia and pull out a memory. It's what memories are really nothing more than groups of neurons wiring together and therefore firing together. And so when we rehearse anything, the neurons get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So we're rehearsing whatever it is we're rewinding to that happened 3 years ago, 3 weeks ago, 10 years ago, whatever. It's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, even though it's long since over, but it's stronger, it's being made stronger in the now. That is so important to know. That rewinding is dangerous because it actually strengthens the pain that happened ages ago and bringing it into the present moment. So, and here's the thing too, okay? There are no justified resentments. Wayne Dyer's big on that one. It's like, oh, you don't know, you don't understand. I was molested by my creepy uncle when I was 5. No one is saying that was okay. And the reason there are no justified resentments is because whatever happened when you were 5, as horrible as that is preventing you from living, for one, and then living the highest version of yourself, for 2, and for 3, you're giving the creepy uncle more than even took the first time by hanging on to it when he's not even affected, right? So we're going to get to that in a second. So this means that there's a lot of releasing that kind of has to happen. There's letting go and release is kind of synonymous, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit different. So releasing is kind of, I'm trying to say how to say this right. Releasing, it's important to release how things could have been different. What if I had been gone? What if my mother was paying closer attention when creepy uncle came over to play dominoes with me? What if things could have been different? Okay, well, here's the thing. They weren't different. Even though that was hard, we're not saying it's not legitimate and everything like that, but it wasn't different. That was when you were 5, and it's done now. As awful as it was, it's done now. And then we have the if onlys. There's the if only people. If only, I could have. If only I would have said something. If only, as hindsight in 20. What did they say? Hindsight is 2020 or something. We look back and all the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Well, the woulda, coulda, shouldas didn't happen. And here's the thing. I said about my own life. I had lots of stuff happen to me, as you all know, physically, emotionally, and sexually abused by different people, right? And I even though I don't want to relive it, I for sure don't want to relive it. I certainly wouldn't want to take an eraser or hit a delete into it, or that's like kind of old school, or hit a delete button. I really wouldn't, because all those things that happened later on after the wounds became wisdom and the pain became power, I actually am in a stronger, better place than I was before. They're part of who I am. Again, I definitely don't, the pain thing, the pain is power, wounds are wisdom, and I'm also a stronger, better, more empathetic individual now because of all of it. So there you go. So I'm grateful for how I've turned out, and actually I love my life. I love all of my life, all of my life. So the other thing is, when we have expectations in general about, expecting so-and-so's are going to apologize, so-and-so is going to make it up to me, so-and-so's, I expect to get a break in my life because that just sets us up for disappointment. Also, I do have to say that being the proud prodigy of 2 alcoholic parents, one thing you learn, and I'm being serious about this, that it's actually a positive thing, is when you grow up with all that dysfunction, you kind of learn not to have too many expectations, especially as the oldest child. And I kind of took the reins early, like, okay, if I want to get it done, I want to make it happen, I got to get it done myself. And when you learn to not have expectations, you kind of, at least for me, I've been walking around with a glass half full since I can remember, because of that. And because when we have, all these expectations, it kind of leads to, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I'm not saying some people have, certain things here and there, but for the most part, expectations are really not the way to go. They're really not the way to go. And we also have to say, we can also expect people to understand our pain. They're not going to. Why? Because they're not you. And they may not even want to. That's the thing. People walk around with their own pain. And so they may not want to. And expecting that to happen is just, again, setting yourself up for disappointment. And there's also that thing where things that we're looking for to have for ourselves, then this is, I guess, more of a spiritual thing, and it's written about by lots of different great thinkers in different religions and different cultures. And it's like if you want to be understood, seek to understand. I guess that's what I'm saying. So that one way to turn that around in a healing sense is to be that great active listener for somebody else, understand somebody else, validate somebody else, mirror the value for somebody else. And then all that stuff you need will very naturally just happen. So, and it's important to ask, how is this working for me, hanging on to all these, I think of them like barbells, like heavy, just, barbells. How's it working for you? Are you feeling validated by hanging on to all that? Are you feeling powerful by hanging on to all that? And that's the illusion of anger, which does actually have a positive job. Though when we hang on to anger for longer than it's meant to happen, it's an illusion of control, because really we're giving it up, right? And if we're putting our need to be validated and our need to have control and our needs for everybody to understand us and everything, remember, if they're outside of us, our needs are outside of us, anything we need, when we don't have it, we're at the very least uncomfortable, all the way to even incapacitated. So having all those needs out here, wanting to have all this happen and be acknowledged and have apologies and everything, that just leaves us far less empowered than if we bring all that right back here in the living room, right? And take it on ourselves. So here's what we're talking about: is stop rewinding, let it go, and push play. We are also, sometimes people also hanging on to rewind so they can keep punishing the person. Well, obviously, the person could be walking around on some beach in California. They could be at a grocery store. They could be traveling. Who knows what they're doing? They're not thinking about you. or what they did 20 years ago. So it's just eating you up and taking even more. So the last thing is Dr. Jakes, who's also in our friendship circle with Oprah and I. You know, I love her. She isn't aware we're friends yet. Dr. Jakes is amazing, and he has this one-liner that I've lived by ever since I heard it, which is when we hang on to our history, it's at the expense of our destiny. And Oprah even did like a pump moment at that time, because when we are constantly rewinding, we are not living. Push play. Be here now. Let it all go. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from my living room in northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.